What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to the body language of Dobrik in his latest apology video. But before we begin, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content, as it really does help the channel out. Let's jump right in.
Hi guys, it's 1:45 in the morning and I'm finally by myself, which I know doesn't sound that crazy to be by yourself at 1:45 in the morning, but this week's been pretty hectic and there have been a lot of people around telling me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me, most importantly, and that was a lot, and now I just want to be.
So first thing we can notice here, he's doing a lot of distancing behaviors, and what these are, it's things that the body does to try and distance itself from a situation that it doesn't want to be in. So if you're, say for example, telling a lie to someone, your body will try and get you away from that person because it thinks that person is a threat, or in body language terms, a stressor. So a stressor is basically a threat. So he's doing that, he's talking to a camera, so the effects aren't going to be as big, but he's clearly very uncomfortable talking to that camera. Doesn't mean that he's lying about what he's saying, but yeah, it does mean that he's very stressed out about this and he doesn't want to be doing this. So firstly, you know, if you thought he was faking it for drama, and I don't actually know the context of this, I haven't seen any of his other videos, so I don't have any context, I'm just watching this video because it was recommended. He is doing distancing behaviors, he's uncomfortable.
Able to do this and just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and I've never done this respectfully, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video, I don't want to delete that video, I just want to be clear. What this video isn't going to be is it's not going to be me discrediting Trisha, Kat, or any other woman involved. I'm going to be using words that may trigger some survivors.
This is forced eye contact. Notice how long he maintains eye contact with the camera. He goes through sentences and his head, right, this is the way that we tell him out from this, which we call him out for. His head is trying to distance himself. He's constantly doing this. He's trying to get away from the camera. That's his primeval brain, basically in the primeval cortex, which is the center of the brain. It's our animal instincts. His animal instincts are telling him to get out of there, to get away, but he's forcing the eye contact. So what we can tell from this is that he's actively trying to maintain eye contact. Now that doesn't mean for certain that he's lying about what he's saying or trying to deceive us. He might simply have read, you know, maintaining eye contact is good. It's a good way to come off as genuine, and that's what he's doing. So yeah, but it is something to note. And if we do see other signs of deception, this will back it up. Interesting.
And that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely, and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was assaulted by him. As was reported, the next day I got consent to post the video. Even though I got the consent to post that video, I should have never posted it. And what I understand now, and I didn't understand before, is that she sent that text because she felt like she had to, not because she wanted to. And that's fucked up, and I'm sorry. When she later reached out a couple months later to take the video down, I immediately took it down, and I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like
kind of contrary to what I was saying, or not entirely, but his eye contact is forced. That doesn't mean you're lying. What that means is that you're trying to come across as genuine. People who lie and people who tell the truth do that, because obviously this is a very touchy video. He's trying to present himself in a very, very good way. Something you can notice here, which does back him up in what he says, is his open body language. Now what this is what I'm doing now. I'm gesturing with my hands, I'm moving my body, I'm basically, my body is in tune with what I'm saying. That is a good way to tell if someone's telling the truth. When you're lying, your brain is trying to think of something false. So then to display that is a task in and of itself. So when the body then has to try and do that, the body language doesn't match the language, the speech. So that's how you tell out liars. What he's talking about when he says it's effed up and stuff like that, his body is reflecting that. His body is in sync with what he's saying. He's exhibiting the emotions of what he's saying, which does back up that he's telling the truth and that he's being genuine. Although people can fake this and it takes a lot of skill to do, when you're trying to do that, there's always something that doesn't look right. There's always something to say that shouldn't be there. And then all it takes is that one thing, and then all of a sudden it makes you look at it in a whole different way. So yeah, He's doing open body language. He's feeling what he's saying, and that's a very good sign that someone's telling the truth.
Their safety and values were compromised. I'm so sorry. I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was completely wrong, and I wish I was more responsible, and I wish I was more aware at the time, and I'm so sorry I missed that. I didn't know what was going on in that room, and I should have been. I should have been there, and I should have been making sure that everybody involved was taken care of and wasn't uncomfortable. I don't want to use buzzwords to try to justify this or explain.
So notice his proxemics. Now in body language, proxemics basically means your distance and how the proximity is between people or between the person and the camera in this instance. So when he's trying to get on a genuine person-to-person level and he's apologizing, notice his proxemics. He comes closer to the camera. He's trying to come off as genuine. He's not feeling threatened by the camera anymore. Although there is that still nervousness in making the video, which is what he was exhibiting earlier, he still feels confident enough to come closer to the camera and say his apology. Now, people who aren't genuine don't do that. They get away, they try and distance themselves. When you confront a liar and they're sitting in a chair, notice when you confront them, and I've done it in the Amber Heard case, loads of other videos, they lean back because their body, their primeval brain is telling them, this person's a threat. If he finds out you're lying, he might hit you, caveman times now I'm talking about. He might hit you. Get yourself away from that situation. Try and get out of there. You also experience what's called pacifying behaviors. And what that is basically the limbic system, which controls the regulation of emotions. The limbic system needs to be pacified. Like a baby with a dummy, that's called a pacifier in America. It's to calm the baby down. It's to calm you down. So when you get nervous, when you get threatened, you do pacifying behaviors. You scratch yourself, you fiddle, you fidget. It's why people with anxiety have fidget cubes and they get given sort of these things to play with. It calms them down, and that's the exact same thing that you'd expect for someone who's lying and not being genuine. He isn't doing pacifying behaviors. He's confident in what he's saying. He's exhibiting open body language. I'm pretty certain he's telling the truth here.
This, but all I can say is people felt like they had to be silent for the sake of my video, and that's not right, and it's fucked up, and I'm sorry. I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that addressed their problems privately or publicly. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you guys. I am sorry that I took Dom's word for what happened in those certain situations, and I didn't believe you. And not only did I not believe you, but I made a joke of what kind of a person Dom was, because I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that. Not only did I discredit you, Allie, but I platformed Dom. And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior, and I'm so sorry.
So this is the most genuine insight we have into a person. We're halfway through the video. He's basically breaking down. His emotions are breaking down. They're coming out. He's losing control of himself, and that's great for body language analysts because we can now see what he's doing. So he's nearly got tears in his eyes. His eyes are getting wet, so you can tell he's experiencing genuine emotion. Fake crying is very, very difficult to do, so that's one thing. His voice, his tone, he's slowing down the way he's speaking because he's thinking. Now that could indicate a liar, however, the tone also then slows down and he starts to quiver almost, as if he's sad, if he's sorry. And that is something that liars very much struggle to do, because as I've said, there's making up a lie and saying that lie convincingly, and there's manipulating your body language and your voice convincingly. It's very, very near impossible to do all of that simultaneously and perfectly. People who go through these emotions, who go through the waves of emotions, those are the ones who are being genuine, because it's very difficult to fake that. It's very difficult to convincingly go through emotions. He's clearly moved by this. So I'd say he's being very, very, very genuine, and he means what he says.
So sorry, and I really let not only you down, but a lot of people down, a lot of people that watch me, and my friends and family for that. I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019, and I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then, but that's when I first started taking into account the power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with. But what I didn't do is I didn't go back to any of these women and apologize. I kind of moved on and I learned from it and I grew from it, but I didn't address the situation with these women.
Notice his eye contact. The whole video he's been basically staring at the camera. He's been forcing himself to look at it because no one holds that eye contact for very long. But now his eyes are all over the place. He's looking down. Now looking down is a very, very big sign of submission and basically sorrow, sort of feeling ashamed of yourself. And it's an act of submission, looking down. He is so sad about this. He's so sorry about this. He's genuine. He's being completely genuine.
I'm not talking publicly, I'm saying even privately. I didn't reach out to any of these people, and that breaks my heart knowing that I was doing all this stuff and I was making all this content while there was people that were still really hurt by what I made. Before my content shifted to be more responsible and positive, I said and did things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark. Because it's fucking gross, and I'm sorry. A lot of people reached out to me saying cancel culture is bullshit and you need to fight back and you need to call people out, and I don't agree with how this should be taken at all. And I think when there is a crisis, there's a serious opportunity to correct yourself, to learn and improve, and to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. And that's why it is so important to hold yourself accountable. And I think with this situation, there's a lot I can look at and there's a lot I can learn from, but there's a lot of mistakes that I made, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for everybody I've let down. I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to my friends that I've embarrassed, and that this won't happen again. I'm gonna take a short break from all the social media stuff because I realize there's a serious lack of infrastructure when I make any kind of content. And I wanna be able to have a place of checks and balances. I wanna have HR, and I wanna be able to have people communicate discomfort in a way that's comfortable to them, and where they don't feel like their emotions or what they're doing or how they're acting is compromised. It doesn't.
So again, his body language, his tone of voice is all over the place. It changes so much throughout this. It shows that he's going through genuine emotions. Liars tend to try and keep it simple with their body language. They try and stick to one sort of set. So when you look at people who have been lying before, caught lying, they maintain the same body language apart from pacifying behaviors, which comes naturally when you're stressed. He's going through a lot of genuine emotions, and I completely believe him, I think. As a body language analyst myself, I would say this person is being genuine. This person is very sorry. Again, I don't know anything about this guy, really. I've seen like one of his videos before, the Borat one, which is quite funny. But other than that, never even heard of the guy. That's what my opinion is. He's telling the truth, he's being genuine, and he's very, very sorry for not believing those women about whatever he's talking about. I don't even know the whole story, to be honest. Literally the first time I've seen this video. I tend to watch videos like this and keep it genuine because if you know backstory, if you know stuff, you start to form opinions. And when you form opinions, that can bias subconsciously the judgments that you're making in terms of their body language. So I try and keep a fresh slate when I watch these videos to try and make it as genuine, authentic, and unbiased as possible. I'm not going to watch any more of this clip because I think we've gleaned enough from it. One thing I missed out as well, when he starts to get emotional and when he starts basically crying, he cuts it. Now this isn't really body language, but it's a judgment. Why would you cut an apology video when you start getting upset? He's not milking it. If people are faking it and they cry and they express their emotions, they put that in because they want people to see them break down, to make them believe basically that you're feeling sad for what you've done. He doesn't do that, so that's something very sort of respectful, I think. He doesn't want to milk his sadness. It's not about him, and he acknowledges that. It's about the people that he didn't believe. This is the best apology video I've ever seen. In terms of genuine body language, I think this is the perfect apology video. If anyone else makes any apology videos, I'll refer it to this because this guy I believe totally. I think he's sorry for what he's done. He does it in a respectful way. So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and if you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. It really does help me out. I love making these videos, so yeah. Please do comment down below what videos you'd like me to look at next. So yeah, thanks for watching.